Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. My name is Adam and welcome to another Sunday video. Now here on LeggLife, Sundays are a little bit different because throughout the week we share our life with you, our travels with you, our adventures with you. It's more a lifestyle vlog throughout the week. But then on Sundays is when we share things like our health journey, our keto journey, recipes and cooking, and that's exactly what I am going to do today. Because the temperature is changing here in Alaska. Fall, I was going to say fall is coming, but the reality is fall is definitely here, and winter is coming. And one of the things that Sherri and I love as the seasons change is to start getting more kind of warm seasonal food. And so in this video I am going to make a keto Tuscan kale soup, because like fall and winter is just, this is prime soup weather. And so this is going to be an Italian sausage, a kale, just like delicious, creamy, wonderful, warm soup, perfect for the season. Now, I've never made this keto Tuscan kale soup before, and so this is going to be an adventure for all of us. There are a few things that I actually need from the store for this recipe, so we're going to start this vlog by heading to the store. Let's go. It might be fall, but it is still crock season. For this recipe tonight, there are 7 things I have on my shopping list. Just got to the grocery store, heading into Cars, which is like the closest grocery store here to our house. So let's go in, get the 7 things, and get home. Item number 1 that I need. Item number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. And finally, number 7. We are back home. All right, friends, back home from the store. You saw a lot of the items that we're gonna need for this, but there are a few you didn't see, so let me give you a quick rundown of the ingredients we're gonna need for this soup. We're gonna need thyme, we're gonna need Italian sausage, garlic, onion, chicken stock, dried oregano, sun-dried tomatoes, heavy whipping cream, salt and pepper, shredded Parmesan cheese, and kale. Now, as always, I am going to put a link in the video description down below to this recipe if you want to try this. But remember, make this your own. There are lots of ways you could customize this. This is a keto version. If you weren't doing keto, you could add potatoes to this. You could even add like a rice to this. If you wanted this to be spicy, you could use a spicy Italian sausage. You could add crushed red pepper flakes. But I am excited to make this. So we've got our ingredients. Now, let's get cooking. You can see I've got my Dutch oven over here on the stove. I'm going to get the Italian sausage cooking in this. I've got a little bit of olive oil in there. I've got the stove up to about a medium high. Now we're just going to add our Italian sausage. Not going to keep the paper in there because, well, it doesn't go well with soup. Now we're just going to take our spoon and just kind of break up the Italian sausage a little bit. While the Italian sausage is browning, we are going to start dicing up the onion and the garlic. Now this is a massive onion, so I don't think I'm going to use all of this. I might use about 3/4 of this. And then the recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic. Let's do 5, maybe 6. You guys, it is one of my core beliefs and one of my core values in life that when it comes to garlic, you just can't have too much. Like, it's one of those things that whatever the recipe calls for, just double it, and then you will almost have as much as you need. You can see we got the onion added in there to the Italian sausage. Now, let's chop up some garlic. These are one of my favorite things to use to peel garlic. Just put it in there, rub it back and forth. Boom, look at that. Came right out of the shell, or the paper, whatever you want to call it. The husk. Now, all this garlic, nice and peeled, let's mince it up. Garlic has been added, onions are in there, Italian sausage is in there. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. Next we're going to add in 6 cups of chicken broth. Next we're adding in our sun-dried tomatoes. It calls for 1/2 cup. I'm going to add, well, maybe a little bit more than that because, honestly, I love sun-dried tomatoes. I did drain off most of the juice, but I left some of it in there because, well, again, I love sun-dried tomatoes. Now we're going to put in the salt and the pepper, and just so you know, if you do keep the oil in the sun-dried tomatoes, it is going to have a little bit of that kind of oily look to the top. So if you don't want that, you could totally drain them and make them just as dry as you could and then add them in there. But again, love the flavor. Now I'm gonna put the lid on and we're gonna let this cook for, oh, I don't know, probably 10 minutes or so over medium-high heat. I just want these flavors to spend some time getting friendly with each other before we put the kale in, before we put the cream in at the end. So let's let these flavors get to know each other a little bit better. Now, when using kale for things like this, you really want the leaves of the kale. This is kind of the backside. You want this kind of outer leafy part. The stems, the stalk of the kale, can be pretty hard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna separate this so that I have just the leafy greens on the outside, and I'm gonna throw away all of that stalk in the middle. And the easiest way to do that actually is pretty simple. I've found is just like kind of grab and then pull. And just like that, you can see that kind of comes right off it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tear what's left up into like bite-sized kale pieces. Now when we add the kale to the hot soup, it is going to wilt down quite a bit. Think of like spinach. When you add a whole bunch of spinach to a recipe, it ends up cooking down to like not a lot of spinach. So it may look like we have a lot of kale here in this bowl, but remember, it is going to cook down a whole bunch. Also, I'm a huge moron because I'm realizing thyme, not a part of this recipe. I was like, wait a second, when do I add this? So I looked back at the recipe. Yeah, I don't know why in the world I thought thyme was a part of it, but we're just gonna put that in the fridge and save that for another recipe. All right, it's been several minutes. Let's take the lid off. See how this is looking. Oh boy, looks amazing. Let's give it a quick stir. And now we're gonna go ahead and add our kale into this. I'm gonna take a handful, take a couple handfuls, give that a stir. And this will only take, oh gosh, a minute or two to wilt down. So just kind of stir that in. You can see the kale definitely wilted, that nice dark green color. So I just reduced the temperature on here to, oh, just above a simmer, just turned it down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add our heavy whipping cream. Add that, let's give that a stir, see how that looks. I think that actually is pretty good. Now, this is the kind of dish that I am going to top with shredded Parmesan cheese, but I actually want to melt some shredded Parmesan in here as well, because cheese is one of the greatest things in the history of the world, along with garlic. I'm just gonna let this kind of cook together for, oh, just about a minute or two. All right, full confession, I added the rest of the jar of the sun-ripened tomato, the sun-dried tomatoes on there because, well, it just needed more. They were too few and too far between. Okay, so this is kind of gonna be my test bite to see how everything is together. You can see I got a little bit of everything in this bite, so moment of truth. Please be good. It's good. It's really good. And then once you add more cheese to the top of this, I'm really happy with this. Now, if I was making this for myself, I definitely would use spicy Italian sausage. In fact, what I'm gonna do for my bowls, I'm actually gonna add some red pepper flakes to it because I think a soup like this needs a little bit of a kick. To me, that's what it's missing. However, again, Sherri, not a big spice fan, so I'm really happy with this. Let's dish it up. Then you gotta find the balance between like soup and the hearty ingredients. So there's that. Now, Sherri, we need more cheese, right?
Obviously.
Obviously. You could top this, and I think the recipe even calls for like fresh parsley. I kind of think parsley's gross. And so we are just gonna go cheese, not parsley, but look at that. Yum, yum. You can see we have it dished up here, but Sherri just blew my mind because she was like, you know what I bet would be good in this? If we topped it with some bacon. Sherri Legg, you are amazing.
That's why you keep me around.
That's why, bacon. You can see Sherri is going for the first bite. How does it look?
It looks so good.
Yeah? Oh, that's an adequate amount of cheese. All right, let's see what Sherri thinks. of our Tuscan kale soup.
It's really good.
You like it? Mm-hmm. I'm so happy. Is it what you're wanting today?
Yeah.
All right, now it's my turn. I tried the test bite, but I haven't tried it since we added bacon and lots more cheese and everything else. So, cheers. Here we go. Oh, look at the cheese. That's how it should be. Whoa. Okay, you guys. The bacon. The bacon. Oh my goodness.
Tastes like next level.
Sherri comes in, I make the whole meal, and she ends up winning the MVP award. This is delicious. We're gonna go eat this, and I'll give you all of my thoughts here in just a second as we wrap up the video. So I'm editing this vlog that you're watching, and I realized that we never ended it. We ate the soup and never came back and gave you our thoughts. So I'm giving you our thoughts in real time. It was a huge hit. We had a lot left over. This made quite a bit of soup, and we ate it for lunches during the week, and it was just, I don't know, it was hearty and warm, and it was like really good. One of my kind of complaints against soup sometimes is that I can finish like a soup meal and then be like, yeah, that was good, but when's dinner? You know, like they're just not hearty enough. I think that the kale, the amount of onions, the sausage, the things that were in this helped it feel hearty and like a meal. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it is very similar to like a Zuppa Toscana, like you'd get like in an Olive Garden where it's pretty famous. I like this better because of the sun-dried tomatoes, because of the bacon, and because of the amount of cheese we put in it. This was a recipe we for sure will keep. It's one that we will absolutely do again this winter. It was actually pretty easy. It didn't take that long. None of the ingredients were very expensive, so we got to do it pretty affordably as well. So this one from both Sherri and I, huge thumbs up. Absolutely loved this. Friends, as always, thank you guys for watching. Link down below if you want to check out this recipe, and we will see you guys tomorrow on the next LeggLife video.